Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're talking about Alien Earth, Episode 5, titled, In Space, No One... ... which is nice. So, we are 5 episodes into what I believe is going to be 8 episodes of this particular series run. We had some concerns about perhaps a little bit of declining quality the longer the series goes on, although we did have a lot of things to say last week. This week, guys, we have a flashback episode 17 days prior to the events that happened in the program. And we get a look in on the Maginot. And we get an entire episode dealing with the loss of the Maginot. All hands, save one, Morrow. Probably the best character in the show. And I got a lot of fucking problems with this episode. I'm sorry to tell you right now. If I'm going to do my damnedest. I'm going to do my damnedest to find things I like about this episode, because in a premise, as a premise, I love the idea of this episode. I think there are a lot of things that stretch credulity with me, and that is a struggle for me. And I'm hoping you guys can help me out a little bit. I'm hoping that we don't cult of personality this too much and all have the same opinion. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't really know exactly how you guys feel about this. I know Maja had some issues with it, but I have no idea how she feels about it in toto. I am of course joined by Maja. Say hello.
Hello.
And my good pal Scott.
Hello.
And we're diving in. Opening impressions out of the gate. Hit me, Maja.
So this episode reminds me of actually the shirt that I'm currently wearing, which I'll show on the camera. Audio people won't be able to see it, but it's basically just the poster of the original Alien movie. On a first look, but when you look a little bit closer, you see that instead of the title Alien, it actually says Alan. Then there's the egg, and then the tagline actually says, in space, no one can hear you in space. So I feel like this episode kind of does the same thing to where it presents itself as an alien picture. But then when you start looking a little closer, it's in fact just fucking Alan.
It is the most apropos shirt I've ever seen worn on a podcast ever.
My favorite shirt.
Yes, but people don't understand that shirt as a joke shirt.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. In space, no one can hear you in space.
And I love that the episode is titled In Space, No One. So in my head now, this episode is called In Space, No One can hear you in space.
Right. Right.
Hell yeah.
So you find it to be a inadequate and hilarious facsimile? Is that what you're saying?
It is definitely trying to be things that it is not. There are good things, which pretty much all are about Morrow.
I agree.
But other than that, I would like to pose the question now or later of whether you think that this episode is necessary at all.
Great question. Scott, do you want to start with some opening impressions? And then we'll discuss the necessity of this.
Yeah. Okay. I actually was really high on this the first watch. I kind of got into it. I kind of sat down and tried to zone out.
This is good news.
Trying to go against, or trying to compare it against Alien or Aliens. I was just trying to go, okay, if this is an Alien show, there's a lot they got right for me.
I'm looking forward to your testimony.
Yeah, I'll have to put my hand up and hold the Bible against you guys. You guys are in the jury looking to hang me.
Did you order the code red?
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
I'm hoping you have a passionate defense.
I don't know if I'll stand up to both of you, but there are a lot that I like, but there is a lot of character things that I do not like, and we'll get into them as I go. These are the most fumbling scientists I've ever seen in my life. We'll get into it. There's no gloves, nothing, no face coverings. We'll get deeper into it. But I thought if I just took it as what it is and do not compare it to anything else, I enjoyed it. I did like seeing the alien xenomorph. Like, I think that was a person in a suit.
Oh,
So-
it is. It is.
I would think it was practical, and I enjoy that, even if it's a little wonky looking at sometimes. But we'll get into it. But I'm high on this, so I want to
That's
see what you
great
guys
news.
are not high on it for.
That's cool.
That's great news. Where do I begin? I suppose at the beginning. To the question of if this episode's necessary, it's sometimes one of those questions I don't love because then I get too philosophical about what is necessary. And then I go, is anything necessary? I get I get full of existential dread, and then I go, nah, none of it's nothing. You have to shit and eat and sleep. But in the context of the show, I think if this was a really good episode, we may ask that question and be forgiving of it because it entertained us very well. I'm assuming, Scott, what would be your answer? Do you feel it's necessary? Does that question make sense?
It makes sense. The only thing I find, I guess it's not necessary, but I enjoyed it. One thing I didn't find necessary at all was that Boy Cavalier was behind it all. I thought that was not needed at all. I like it. I like it so much more that it's just a derelict spaceship that crashes out of control and crashes onto his property, and he absorbs the aliens by, it's my land, I'll take it type of thing. Not that he had some subterfuge and some sabotage. I think that's kind of cheesy. I would have liked it much more that he just took it as a opportunity for him to advance his prodigy company. And that's all. I thought having him be the mastermind behind it all is kind of lame because he is kind of lame. So, I mean, I don't know.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not like they needed somebody to sabotage the ship on top of everybody being so incredibly incompetent. He was going to go to hell no matter what. I'm sorry.
The saboteur, Petrovich, the saboteur, he's just like, I tell you what, I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to expose my position. I'll let this crew undo themselves. Because they're going to. I don't have to sabotage anything. I'll just relax. I'll kick it. I'll keep my cover, and I'll watch them implode because they are fucking idiots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
My biggest issue is that there's just so many questions because this episode could be worth it if it provided something interesting. If it actually, what I would have loved to see more than this, because we get the first episode pretty much shows like things go to hell on the Maginot. I would have loved to see how exactly they acquired the specimens, because now seeing these people operate, I'm like, there's no way in hell they went to an alien planet and acquired these samples. How? I know that a lot of people died, so maybe all the competent people died, and
that's what I was going to say.
These ones are left.
They lost 47 other officers in the process.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. But the thing is, like, it just doesn't provide anything more than questions. It doesn't give me, I mean, only the Morrow stuff is definitely worthwhile, because I love it. Now Morrow's on my good side again. I don't think he's that evil after seeing him be with Arush, to where I'm like, I don't know if I like him anymore. Now seeing his perspective, I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand why you operate the way you do. But there's just so many issues, and I have to shout out our Discord group, who were talking a lot, and they were bringing up some great points. And Matthew Lewis said that this is one of those cases where I feel that the flashback episode eliminated much of the mystery and only set off more logic bombs. And that's a good summary of what's going on here and what's my biggest issue, because there's so many logic bombs.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what a logic bomb is. I assume it is breaking the. I guess I don't know exactly. Do you know exactly what he means? Can you infer what you think he means by that? Meaning it's just there's a bunch of unrealistic shit that happens, or
right? Like, first of all, how is this crew capable of even acquiring the samples? Right. How does it work to where one of them contacts Boy Cavalier, which I actually had to go back to the first episode and look at the guy Petrovich is in that episode, and it makes a little bit more sense. But there's a lot of just questions of how any of this makes any sense, and I have a lot of them. Like, how do the creatures? How long is the crew awake? What's the rotation? What's her name? I forgot the biologist's name. Is she single-handedly feeding all these creatures? Is she awake for 65 years? She doesn't look that old.
Chibuzo, you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. There's just a lot of stuff that makes me go like, like I've said before, it takes me out of it. I'm focusing more on the how does this make sense than actually enjoying what's happening on screen.
Right. So there are a lot of questions. Question number one, before we kind of talk about the structure and the scenes, I want to talk about the idea of the mission that the Maginot has ahead of it, which is deep space exploration with intent on getting samples. Are we to believe that they've had these samples for years and years and years and years? Is it something they got towards the end of their mission? I don't really remember that detail. Do you?
There's no explanation of that. It's simply that it's been 65, or that the entire mission takes 65 years. So I would assume that at least half of that time, they've had at least some of the samples. So many of the creatures...
Why would you assume that, if you don't mind me asking?
Because however long the journey takes to go to a place, it'll be the equal amount of time coming back.
Got it. Yep.
It's just
there
that.
You go.
Yeah.
There you go. We're not
yeah.
past bingo fuel. That makes perfect sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Good catch. So that is a great point. So that means somebody is feeding these things for 30 years. They're 30 years old, these samples.
Right. And they're just surviving on their own inside these. I mean, the xenomorph eggs, they can hibernate clearly for however long necessary.
Sure.
But do these other species do the same?
Do
I
they
guess.
grow? Do they die? Do they
Yeah.
reproduce? Do they anything?
It's a lot of questions.
There are a lot of questions there for sure. And then you have the realization that, well, when Petrovic set off on this mission, Petrovic or Vich, I'm not
Vich,
sure.
I think.
Petrovich, when he set off on this mission, Boy Cavalier was not alive yet.
Yeah,
So-
that's something that I had to spend too much time thinking about and figuring out how it works.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
if he-
holes.
It's 65 years ago, presumably, ostensibly, he's not alive unless he is also a hybrid. But let's say he isn't alive. That means he has contact with Petrovic, or has Petrovic the whole time been an agent of Prodigy? And no, because Prodigy's
no.
not been around.
Prodigy
Prodigy-
wouldn't exist.
So
That's right.
the only way it makes sense is that Petrovich, during this long mission, has become disgruntled with his contract, and he makes a reference about his woman getting a bug laying eggs in her eyes or something. Which
Okay, so he must have lost somebody.
yeah, which I assume happened during the acquiring of the samples, and he
yep.
had a relationship with somebody, although it's against company policy, as we come to learn and all that. But clearly,
Naturally.
over such a long time, you're going to ending up forming relationships among the crew. So I think as they're probably on the way back, news from Earth are coming in. Clearly they have communications, they have video chat, no matter how much of a distance it is,
There's
whatever the
probably a
technology
delay.
is.
Well, yeah, I don't know if there's a delay in communications
Yeah,
in the alien universe.
Well, it seems like the discussion between Petrovich and Boy Cavalier is taking place without any kind of a delay, but that could
This
just
is
be
very true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume that somewhere along the way they find out the news like, oh, there's a new company and they're like rising fast, that they're doing synths and AI and all this cool stuff. Petrovich, who is not happy with the contract he has with Weyland-Yutani, is like, I'm giving away too much for what I'm getting. They're not paying me enough for this shit. I'm wasting a lifetime up here. And he hears about a company down in Earth who is now getting closer to the possibility of transferring consciousness into new bodies, which is something that he's like, oh, I want that. What if I reach out to said company and offer them what we have, my mission here, the company and the team that I work with here? What if I sacrifice everything here in order to get a bigger payout?
And everyone, by the way.
Yes.
So he's so disgruntled, he's going to murder all his crew members.
So it would
and-
seem.
And we do know he knows about Prodigy when at least they're awake, because they talk about it in the first episode.
Yeah, he's the one who mentions like, oh, they do synths and AI.
Yes.
So he's aware of the company. They must get news reports, and then I assume that he was the one to initiate the contact with Boy Cavalier.
Yeah, and let it be known he's the chief engineer on the boat, so he may know some comtech tricks to where he can send
Right.
some kind of message or reach out to this guy directly and look for his way out. It is interesting that he would probably, well, we don't really know what he knows about Boy Cavalier, but apparently Boy Cavalier's got a hard-on for these aliens, and somehow Petrovic knew that, and he knew that was one of the 5 companies he should contact. Again, we're stretching a lot to make these connections.
That's
I
the
just
problem.
thought it was sloppy writing. I just thought it was sloppy writing. Like, they hand-waved it away.
Right, which is unfortunate because a lot of the writing's been really good up to this point. So that's why this episode, that's one of my biggest struggles with this episode is, and I don't like to go after actors and actresses much, whatever. I usually say, well, we don't know how this is translating from script to whatever. But the Zaveri performance is woeful. And I know that particular actress, I know that she has done really good work in the past. I know she was on some big show on Netflix. So it could just be a bum character. It could be a bad connection. It could be, I've had shitty days at work too. I've done shitty jobs on things myself. So actors can do shitty jobs sometimes too. And I don't know the conditions of this work environment, but it's bad. She's a bad character. It's a poorly written character, and I don't think the portrayal is particularly good. And I'm not saying it's an indictment on her entire career. So relax.
You're talking about the captain, right?
The executive officer, by the way.
Yeah.
Zaveri is the executive officer of a multi-billion-dollar operation. And I just want to start to make it clear at this point where I start to get a little bit annoyed with this. But before I do that, does somebody want to jump in?
No, just
go ahead.
About her. I ended up actually listening an interview clip where she compares her character to Ripley, which upset me greatly because that makes it even worse. And I'm like, I don't like that we have such a focus on her character specifically because there's not much there to offer, to be honest.
And they couldn't be more different. Ripley's a warrant officer with she's lower on the command chain. I think she's still like third, right? Third or fourth in Alien, I can't remember. So maybe not that far off. Zoya's second in command. But is she doing enough to convince us that she should be? And it's not just her, by the way. And it's not just her character, by the way. It feels as if, to me, it feels like Kisei, the guy who plays Morrow, wandered onto... Sisei is how you say it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Babu Sisei.
Babu Sisei feels like he wandered onto a set where people got a different direction on the tone than everyone else did.
Yep.
Because he is not joking around. He is very serious. And I don't know. Are we becoming so disconnected as a species from humans because this is all we do is we go on the internet, that we need this type of contrast to realize how serious he is? It's so weird that he is the only one with any seriousness to him, except maybe, is it Shmuel? How do you say his name? Shmuel.
Yeah.
He plays it pretty serious.
He plays straight
Nobody
across.
else does.
Well,
and it's very weird.
Because there's ways that they could have made this work so much better because played to the time, the amount of time they've spent up here, everybody's gone a little like, because you would if you spent so many years up in space with the same people, which kind of explains a little bit of the way they're bickering and a little antagonistic towards each other. But
I don't care about the antagonism.
Yeah, but it just comes off as childish. Like everybody's just incompetent and childish.
Well, I took it as a little bit maybe because Morrow has more at stake because he actually was raised by Yutani, and they actually tell you that in this. Maybe he took it personal. Maybe he's more personal about the job because she put it in his hand to bring these back. So so maybe he's taking it more personal than they are because they're just a crew.
He is more serious about the mission itself and the cargo, especially because I don't think anybody else outside of Shibuzo. She seems to really care about the critters that she's caring for. But the problem is that the crew is very nonchalant about the fact that several people have died and there's monsters on the loose. And they're just like on the table and making I'm like, what is happening? And Morrow has to bang at the table and be like, knock it off. things are serious. That's the problem.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
So
The tone
it
is
starts like this. Now, do you know what position that Clem has on the ship, guys? Clem is the guy that wakes Morrow up.
Isn't he like a second junior security officer?
He's a security officer.
And he's in charge while Morrow sleeps?
He's a security officer on Weyland Yutani's multi-billion-dollar operation. This guy. So this is the problem. And we can't always compare this to the originals. However, what we can do is we can compare things within the Alien universe and come to realize that this, I don't know if this is some weird modern, like, we work for a corporation, but we don't really care, cool kids bullshit, but it just doesn't fly given the mission. You don't work at a fucking department store. You work on a spaceship, which is a 65-year mission of which you guys gave up your lives for. You gave up your lives for this shit. You've said,
deep.
I'm signing 65 years over to you. You're not some poor schlep who's like, oh, I'm huffing it out on a mining colony somewhere for a 10-year bid, like in Romulus, for example. You've given up your lives for this mission. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be experts, but if Weyland Yutani is hiring and employing these people, and when we get a look in on Yutani and we see her in her really cool samurai-looking dude standing around and that awesome architecture, we're like, this person runs this shit. To the tune of the person who runs the corporation is in direct contact with the security person. This is not some forgotten subsidiary side project that the fucking corporate office doesn't care about. This is a main mission, and these are your people. It's completely ludicrous. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well,
It starts with, real quick, this kid coming in and go, there's a fire. There's a creature loose. Oh, and by the way, 2 people are dead. And oh yeah, did you know Zavari's fucking Bronski? And she likes to be on top. Other than that, it's pretty vanilla. Oh, and did you know? And it's like, hey, real quick. Like, what the fuck is going on? Sir, wake up. We've got 2 casualties. There's a fire. It's under control. Come on. Instead of being like, did you know? Like, two of your crew members are dead. Besides that, you've lost containment on alien species, and everyone's just working. Everyone's going about their day. Everyone's just kind of. It's so fucking weird. But anyway, go ahead, Scott.
what I was going to say was that it's kind of. No, I forgot what I was going to say now. Damn it.
I fucked you up. There's no
it's all right.
containment. What caused the fire? Why are the egg crates open? Right? Of course, Morrow's asking all the right questions.
I was going to say, I had the same problem with Prometheus. Though that crew, they hate each other. They're like, they have like bits of psychosis right off the bat. And I'm like, do they not screen these people for this mission? Do they,
Right.
they pick just anybody? And this is the same feeling I had with that. They're children. Even like Amir, the medical officer, he's cracking jokes while they're trying to cut a alien off a guy's face. He's like,
I know. I
no
know.
big deal, bro. Like, and you're like, oh, my bad. I cut the tail and killed him. Like, you're like, that's the part I had a real bad problem with this movie or the show was that it just seems like it's kids, except for Morrow.
Right.
Yeah, it's why don't you send a team of cyborgs who are highly competent and able to deal with the situation? Like if Yutani has the money, clearly. I mean, this is one of the logic bombs to where like you're stuck thinking about why this crew is the way they are. Are they so expendable, or are they in such bad situations? Are some of them like maybe even criminals who were given no other choice than to go up to space and do this mission or go to prison? Or why? It just doesn't seem to make any sense. And I wonder if we're going to find out anything more about that, which is unfortunate if that is the case, because why not integrate it here and make the characters more approachable, like have them discuss the situation, like a somber discussion around why they ended up in this situation, why they chose to do this. The only one we get the perspective from is Morrow, and I really love that on his part. But all the other ones, it's like, no, like Malachite, Why are we
He's awful.
Why are we just showing that this kid is dumb as fuck? Why aren't we using that to, for example, like that he didn't realize what he was signing up for, and that he comes to the realization that when he's going to go back, his family's going to be gone, everybody's going to be gone. There's no serious tone around the reality that they've committed to. I don't get that. Something that came to mind where it's done well, where people like sign up for basically a suicide mission, is the movie Annihilation, to where they all go on that mission because they, for one reason or another, don't have anything to lose. And I wish that we'd seen something of the sort from these characters, but we don't.
Right. Yeah, it is a gross misapplication of the world that this show resides in, which is the alien world. Chibouzo recites contact protocol for alien exposure. Hello, you all are exposed. They're treating these facehuggers. They turn their backs on them. They don't, whatever, like, oh, this happens, just throw them in the cryo. There's no security on cryo. When she's like, oh, if anyone gets exposed, they need to go to cryo sleep. And I'm like, well, put on your fucking PJs. You're going to sleep. Everyone goes to sleep. You've all been exposed. There's no, like Jesus, like Scott said, there's no breathers on. There's nothing. There's no containment. You've lost containment on the situation. And there's this moment where later in the ep, the junior security officer picks up a stool as a weapon is that a standard issued stool? Is that what you trained with at the academy? Are you private security? And if so, who's your employer? Are you corporate security? And if so, where's your training?
I like that Morrow calls him chlamydia.
That's really funny because his name's Clem.
You said you wouldn't call me that anymore.
And his delivery is so deadpan. I wasn't expecting a jokey kind of thing out of Morrow, and that it kind of flew by me at first. I'm like, wait, did he just call him chlamydia? Right. It's really funny.
So Zaveri's in a position to where she needs to take over. She's the executive officer. The CO has been compromised, killed actually. Tinsdale, he's dead. And she ain't having it. She won't hear Morrow, who says this is sabotage. She's like, no, I don't know about that. She can't make a decision. She was doing God knows what while Morrow is like trying to have an emergency security meeting, whether she's playing with, doing work, whatever she's doing, doesn't matter. It's action for fucking dialogue. I get it. You don't want just talking heads staying around. So she's fucking a subordinate. Big deal. I don't care about character flaws like you're fucking a subordinate, but the rest of you have to convince me that you guys are part of a mission that the person who runs Weyland-Yutani, is directly involved with, to the tune of, I'll keep saying it, billions. And this is the best crew you can come up with. It's completely ludicrous. Now she's the CO of the boat. She needs to talk to Mother, of course, which makes sense. A big command change. She probably needs to consult with Mother. I don't fault her for that. That strikes as in character. And then she's told, nothing but the cargo matters, etc. Morrow tells her as much. Not you, not me, not the cat. That's it. And then that's the setup for what's going to happen, right? And then, I'm sorry, by the way, say, can I speak? Jump in and cut me off, please, at any time.
All right.
All right? Why on God's green earth is Tang not in the brig?
What do you mean, for yanking?
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
For jerking off on that girl's cryo bed. Why is he not in the brig?
Why is it so? There's just so oh, you're doing your thing at night with no one seems to care. Like you wouldn't want to be in a crew with people like that.
Yeah, I took it very literally too, to where he's actually
he's yanking it on the tube.
They recorded they recorded Zaveri fucking Bronsky, and they take turns beating off to it. Is she consented to this? I mean, what the fuck are we doing? How is that guy who puts his hand over her body parts that he maybe shouldn't, with her cryo bed underneath, like he's using Reiki on her? More like rapey. With a fucking forbidden touch. And then we're supposed to just go, isn't that funny? We should be fucking creep.
I was creeped
Morrow
out.
should have charged across the room and shoulder tackled him, zip tied his hands, and dragged him into the fucking brig. This guy cannot be loose on the ship. I don't care if he's being like it's really fucking weird.
I
It's
don't
bad.
understand why Tang is on this mission.
He's a human, by the way. We know that.
he is
Yeah.
apparently
Well, I
human.
mean-
although there's intentional ambiguity about his
Please.
what he is.
I give you the jerk off symbol for that.
Do androids yank it? Like, do androids just pop off?
He's not an
onto
android.
cryos?
He's
No, but I'm
smoking
saying,
at
like,
one point.
I don't think they do because they don't have any drive like that.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, so I'm like, they made it a little ambiguous with how he spoke, but I mean, his actions for
Was
sure.
that so we could forgive him for his predilections
No,
upon a
no.
sleeping woman?
No.
He's a fucking ghoul. He should be zip tied and banged up along the
Locked
way
away.
on his way to getting tossed on his head in the brig. I don't understand how it's just laughed away. Am I being a prude? It's just stupid.
No,
It's
no,
just- it's just
it's
dumb.
bad. It's bad. It's very bad writing.
It's
because
just dumb for this kind of mission.
No one would be okay with that. No one.
No.
I wouldn't want someone next to me doing that kind of thing. Like,
We saw
And
how
you're-
uncomfortable. Go back and watch episode 1 now that you know that he beats off. Go back and watch, and he's not a robot, right? And go back and watch Ep 1 and watch how uncomfortable that woman is in his presence.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
the creep vibes already in episode 1 were major with Tang, and now knowing the full thing is like, why is this guy allowed to walk around? How did he get on this mission in the first place?
Right.
Clearly, he's highly intelligent because he can do crazy math. In the first episode, he gives the time to Earth in seconds or something like that. But still, why?
The
How is he
mass
allowed to be
murdering rapists on Con Air were less offensive. It's crazy. See these hearts, bro? The
oh
fuck?
no,
Anyway.
Jesus Christ!
It's
That's
weird.
Johnny 24.
Yeah.
What do you think is the purpose of even having Teng behave this way? Why write a character like this? Is he just an intentional red herring of like, ooh, is he the bad guy? Is he the saboteur?
100%.
Yeah, I guess so.
They do that with a couple characters. They do that with what is it? Shmuel. Shmuel. He seems disgruntled too. I think they do it just to kind of throw you off a little bit, and then you find out it's someone who's not even not even.
I
supposed
don't
to be
mind the
awake.
disgruntled. Like he's one of the few that play it well. Like he's good too. Morrow and him are probably the best on this episode.
Well, because you
I
can
love
put
when, I
yourself
love when
in
they come out of the
his feet.
meeting and he just goes, I think you should airlock him. I'm like, fucking A, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Why don't you put him in charge?
Yeah, and he gives gives Morrow the extra information about there actually being or what the fire caused, like their navigation systems are fucked up.
Yeah,
And then, of course,
the fire is acute. That it was
and-
actually for it was actually two systems that are right next to each other that would completely disable the ship. No
Sure.
one would know that.
And then you have Rahim telling Tang, not Tang, he's telling Clem, the dumb security kid, he's like, what do they want with these things? Dude,
Can we stop with the reciting the 5 corporations and their rivalry and wanting to get on top again? Because we've done that like in every episode.
also, can we get away from this? Everything's about power, postmodern bullshit. It's just so fucking boring. It's always about the power. It is about power. The 5 he wants power. They want to take over. They want it to be power. Fucking boring. It's just boring. Is that what Boy Cavalier wants? Is power? I don't know. Is that what we're just going to boil it down to? They just want power. We get it. They're big monolithic evil corporations, but there's nothing else about them. There's nothing else interesting about them. There's no interesting characters in those corporations who have interesting motivations. It's all power dynamics. Like, fucking please. But anyway, so when we get to the stuff with Shmuel or however you say it in Malachite, okay. And I'm sorry.
You're so mad.
I'm sorry. I want this. I want this to be as entertaining as possible. So I'm going to try to make it as funny as possible. And I'm sorry that my tone betrays that. But do you think? Let me pose a question to you guys. Do you think a junior engineer of a spacefaring species on a biological 65-year mission to collect exobiology samples in a faraway system would not know the difference between geology and biology? Because if so, you should be fired for hiring him, and then he should be fired.
He doesn't even know what an apprentice is.
Nor does he know the word
is.
sabotage or saboteur. What the fuck kind of writing is this shit?
He doesn't even know his job. He doesn't know where he's going or what he's doing. You know, he's like, oh, 65 years? Really? Like, everyone you know at home is going to be dead? Wait, what? Like,
But do you want to know what he does know? He knows the word preambulated. Do you know what that means, Scott? I double dog dare you to tell me because you don't.
preambulate? No, I have no idea.
Exactly. Who the fuck does unless you're from England? What? Oh, geology's rocks, biology's blood and shit. Yeah, I'm an engineer, and I know. These people don't need to be experts, but we need to believe that they are trained and they have some cross-training and redundancies should something bad happen. Now, Maginot is a big ship. Maybe they lost tons of people doing this, and maybe that's why we're down to the nitty-gritty shitty. Fine. But
We're
it's
on the
not
D team.
It's not. We've gone from A to B to C to D, baby. It's just completely. It stretches the line. It stretches the line. Sorry, Masha.
I also have a question about they have a serious repair issue ongoing on the ship. There's there's very serious damage that they need to be repairing. Why aren't they waking up all the engineering people? Why is it only these two? I mean, well, that Petrovich being an engineer, what was he? Chief engineer?
Chief
He was
engineer.
a chief, so why is he not woken up immediately? Why don't we not discover right away that
Right.
he's not in his cryotube?
Because they need him to be. We need to find out that, oh no, he's the one that blah 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 blah. Now, I will say the chief engineer knows how to disable the boat. That tracks. That
Yeah.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
that
He knew
makes
exactly
sense.
how to fuck them up, right? Totally makes sense to me. By the way, Morrow is the only guy working
The only one
His-
doing anything.
until we get to Malachite and them trying to fix something. It looks like there's a steering wheel in the Jeffries too. I'm like, what is that wheel? It must be some kind of like lever for like maybe some kind of steam or something. I thought, but anyway,
Pressure valve. Yeah.
But here's my thing: the engineer should be working. I don't understand why Chibuzo. I'm going to say her name wrong, and I'm sorry. I don't understand why Chibuzo is still playing around with samples, guys. Hey, there's a lot of logic problems with the show Star Trek.
Hey
But
guys,
let
we're
me tell
gonna
you
crash
something.
and burn.
Let me tell you something that Star Trek does right. Red alert. Everyone is awake. Everyone is at their duty stations, and we are in an emergency. No, I'm just going to go back over here and fucking play around with some worms and shit, have a sandwich. The doctor's going to walk around and smoke and be a weirdo. Guys, you
We're gonna
woke
die.
up. You woke up the security guy, and the security guy is like, he must be losing his fucking mind. He should be yelling. He should have. I wish he'd have broke the table in half with his fucking cybernetic forearm. Boom, like Colossus. Like, guys, we're in a fucking red alert here. Let's go. We got
Yeah, it
guys with
doesn't-
fucking face huggers on. There's samples. God knows where. We know they're hostile. Look at our two crew members. By the way, they killed one. And
I like that. I like that they tried and they actually killed him because we've heard about it before. Like we saw with what was the first guy they tried to cut it off and it burned through the hull.
Kane.
yeah,
Kane, but he didn't die from it. He luckily was the acid didn't hit him. But I've never seen them actually like take a
But here's why,
a digit
Scott.
off. What's up?
Not that I want to take all of your toys away this week, but they don't know anything about this species. So he grabs a giant saw and just hacks into it.
He's a
There's
great.
no test. They don't probe it. They don't prick it. They don't look at it. They don't examine it. They don't.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a
There's
point.
no, like in the first movie, they go, well, let me take a look, and they do a little incision because like
Well,
maybe we can get it to like. Maybe we can hurt it and it'll let go, and they
Yeah.
stab it with the scalpel and they're like, holy shit, it's fucking acid blood.
That's
this
what
guy
he
just starts
says.
sawing away
No,
like a.
he says, Raheem, he's like, I made a little incision. No, you didn't. You sawed
the
the
tail's
tail off.
gone.
You
the whole
fucking-
fucking tail's gone.
A little incision?
Yeah, no.
The second a little bit of acid blood like drips down the guy's neck and burns his flesh, you flip him the fuck over. Like they just went, oh, just keep sawing away.
Dude, that scene where you see them, it pans
It's
up and they're
crazy.
like looking. They got the two bodies of the facehuggers when Morrow comes around the corner. Looks like kids that found their Christmas gifts. The night before Christmas, before their parents. You know what I mean? They all look shocked, like, huh? Oh,
It's a Sega Genesis.
all right.
What'd you get, Altered Beast? Yeah.
What'd
Look
you
what
get?
we
I
found.
got a xenomorph on my best friend. All right.
Mara's like, put him back in the closet.
Yeah, I'm gonna return them the day after Christmas. You pieces of shit.
It's so crazy, man.
The only other person taking this kind of seriously is Zaveri but she's just upset about the situation and is crying over Bronsky in his cryo tube and pouring Utah sand over it. And I have to ask what you think about the Flash too, like
Stupid.
them fucking, and then he has the facehugger on his face when
It's silly.
it's so
It's silly.
stupid.
My turn with a face hugger. All right.
It's supposed to be.
Wrapping its tail around my neck, babe.
I want you to sit in the chair in the corner and watch what I'm gonna do to this face hugger.
She's just jackhammering him with a facehugger on her face. Kang's in the corner doing God knows what to himself.
Just licking his lips.
Oopsie. Not good. He's sitting in the chair like Arnold. And True Lies. So anyway, one of the best scenes is Morrow recounting his poor daughter and crying, and like that great cut to him just stone face as the smoke's coming out of his mouth is awesome. He's
Yeah,
got these great moments. This guy, he's fucking brilliant.
That
He's acting
moment.
circles around these people.
That moment is the highlight of the episode for
Absolutely.
me. Where we, because I actually paused and I was reading
Yes.
at the papers.
I know, it's
Yeah.
sad. Did you catch
what
it,
is his
Scott?
daughter? His daughter died in a fire at 18.
Yeah.
And like
19, yeah.
all the property or anything she had is just locked in storage for your return. So he found that out when after he did this meeting, right? Or after he woke up and saw all this shit, he went to those, and those are the reports that had come through since.
No, that was mission year 8
Yeah.
of 65.
Oh,
so he's known
okay, so
for
he's-
a long time.
He's already had. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
see that part, but damn, that's so. I mean, like it's
Great,
it's a
best
great
part of the
study.
episode right there.
Yes,
The
it's a great
human
study in
connection.
Right.
how to make you actually care about a character, like
Right.
watching him, and they flash to like him sitting on the beach with his daughter, showing like this is where I'm gonna be. Anytime you miss me, look up there. I'm like, I wanted to cry. I got
Gave me
goosebumps,
goosebumps.
talking
Yeah,
about it.
me too.
Yeah, it's like shit. That's like the real human cost of this mission, and like aliens sometimes struggles with that, especially newer aliens. But like the time part is nuts. Like Aliens, when Ripley finds out it's been 57 years since, and her daughter has grown full and died before she got home. That's a tearjerker. Like I actually care about Morrow, and I understand where he's coming from now. Like he's got nothing at home. You got no family, and now what? Like, do you take over because things aren't going right here? But it's the best human part in this movie, and he's not even fully human. He's a cyborg. So
What makes it more interesting now is knowing there's only room for one person in that pod, and him with zero hesitation getting into it because fuck these incompetent swine.
yep.
Like think back to that first episode where he gets in and you're like,
Yeah.
damn, he's locked her out. And then you're like, well, after you watch, you're like, can you blame him?
If anything, this episode makes Morrow completely justified in his actions.
Yeah.
Because at first it's a kind of like, yeah, I like him, but he did seem to kind of sacrifice his entire crew. Now, having seen said crew in action, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get you, Morrow. And there was another detail in the letters where the daughter was talking about going to college and how she would get a full scholarship from Weyland-Yutani, that they would pay for her education. And at the end of the letter, she's like, well, how important are you, Dad? Like, how come I get to have this? Because she had a friend who also got like only a partial scholarship or something. So I like the little nods and hints as to Morrow's possible motivations for taking this mission. Obviously, he has this high loyalty for Yutani because it seems that he basically owes his life to Yutani. But clearly, his family is also being taken care of while he's gone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a lot easier to go to space knowing that your daughter's going to have the best schooling, the best everything, all going to be taken care of while you're gone. And the cost of that is you don't see her again. Isn't that what we're supposed to do, is kind of let your children grow past what you can give them? Like, be better than you were.
Right. It's
and you
always
sacrifice that.
Right.
Yeah, you want your kids to do better. Exactly. So he's taking it for the team. He's like, all right, I may not see her again, but I know she'll be, me doing this will ensure that she will be taken care of and have the best life possible. I dig that too.
Yeah. There must be moments, and I say this with zero irony, where Morrow must be looking around, waiting for the proper commanding officer to come out and go, oh, good job, you passed. We saddled you with these idiots. This is a simulation. You did a great job. Well done. You making WT proud, buddy. WY proud. And these are just actors. Clearly, they're not competent spacefaring people. But Klaxon sound, Cryptopod, quarantine breach. Raheem was taking a shit, so the chest burster escaped. And Morrow's like, well, we got this electricity gun, capture, don't kill, because there are concerns about the acid ruining the integrity of the hull. Of course, this leads to the if unnecessary scene that I've already touched upon, which is Chibouzo doing experiments during a literal containment breach.
Well, she causes another containment breach while doing that. So there's that.
Oh, God.
Everyone should be
inept.
rally round the family, pocket full of shells. That's where everyone should be, if I may quote Zach de la Roca. That's where everyone should be, right? There should be zero contact. We should be attempting to find, eliminate, and or capture, obviously capture, and can keep everyone contained. And at least Morrow gets there by saying, we're going to travel in twos, right? So this lab meeting ends up directly on the back of one of the most difficult scenes for me, which is the mess hall meeting, where people are chummy, 2 people are dead, you're in an emergency, the monsters are loose, there's a saboteur, and we're going to argue about eating? There's a monster lurking.
Yeah.
Lock it down.
It's really crazy when you think about it. I didn't think about it like that until you're pointing it out. Like,
yeah.
It's just like there's no sense of urgency. They're like, we're gonna sit here and yell at each other, but there's a xenomorph loose, and now other things are loose as well.
This isn't like your snake got out for the 10th time, and it's coiled behind your TV somewhere. This is like you got dead guys, and there's a saboteur, and everyone's like, Like this should be, people should be rolling here like eyes forward. What can we do? How can we help? What do we need to do to contain this? If everybody wants to go home, and that's what they say, that's what Raheem says when he gets interrogated. If everybody wants to go home, sit the fuck down, pay attention, and be like, how can we help? What are we doing? Let's rally up here.
What's my part?
It just really lacks that, and it feels very poorly executed.
I don't understand why they're not concerned for their own safety at all.
I don't know.
The tick thing in the water bottle, I have to point that out. That was very, very, very disgusting.
I loved it. That's great.
It's great. It's successfully
so
very,
nasty.
very nasty.
These creatures are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shoots out the fucking larva into the. Ew. I will be looking into my water bottle now every time
right?
I drink out of it.
Let me open up
Ew.
this thing and look down it. All right, no
Yeah.
weird amoebas in it. No,
Ugh.
Yeah.
no blood amoebas that are sucking away my blood out of my lungs.
And that was
Jesus Christ.
that was actually like a successful little mini plot of like where the water bottle is ending up and who's gonna take a sip out of it.
It was cool.
Yeah, like she almost does it multiple times, but then Shmuel sits down and it's like some Her Majesty, whatever the fuck.
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
I enjoyed that part. Like it was a cool little like what's gonna happen with that? Is somebody gonna drink it? Because I'm like it was so nasty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's really no procedure here. There's a very just no command presence, none.
Well, yeah, well, I mean that's the whole thing. I think that's what they were going for, at least with that part, was that Zaviri is completely out of her depth as the leader, and
yes.
and the crew also notices it because when she's like, "All right, quiet down, everyone," meh, and they're like, they just look at each other, they roll their eyes, they're like, "Jesus Christ, she sucks," and
Right.
and Moro's like looking away, like, "I'm just gonna wait for her to fuck this up, and then I'm gonna freak out and take command," which I love because he's the only one who has any idea of what's really going on.
I think too, and if you want there to be an underpinning here about how they don't respect her authority, even though she has it, and blah blah fucking blah, beat off motion again. Fine, you can do that, but let's not pretend these people wouldn't be concerned with the state of the vessel right now, with two dead crew members and shit running around in your air ducts. It's loose, man. Let's go. Let's get
And a
let's get going.
saboteur's loose as well.
Yeah, could be any one of yous. So, yeah.
There's no tension. There's no
Right.
like this could be the Thing type of situation where like, oh, it's one of us.
Right.
Who do we trust? Are
They
we
kinda laugh it off.
like why aren't they immediately all locking up Teng?
Yeah.
Although I think is he in the interrogation room at this time?
He gets interrogated along with Rashid.
Show me your hands, Tang. Show me your hands. Put them up. Oh, maybe not.
But Morrow has to bring it home when he like slams the table and he just says, 2 people are dead. We've lost containment.
And we're a missile at this point. We're barreling towards Earth with no control, not enough fuel to make any kind of correction. We're just going to hit the ground and all die. And they're just like, pass me the oatmeal, please.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's funny too because at one point Raheem's like, there are monsters on the ship, and I'm like, well, fucking act like it.
Right.
Please, that would be great. And it leads to some interviews, etc.
Yeah, I think the best part of this episode is Morrow's investigation into this situation and the way he handles it, the way we see the security footage, because there's so much talking and explaining, and it comes from characters who are way out of their depth and just fumbling around and like, first time watching this, I'm like, what did you just say? What's going on? Slow down. I'm confused. I was very confused as to what was happening, but I enjoy the moments where Morrow is just doing his job and we get to see what's going on in the security footage instead of being told what's happened.
Sure.
It's so much more effective, and the way he just takes charge of the situation when he finally is like, okay, I'm in control now. I'm like, thank God.
The way Morrow watches Raheem's testimony is just great. He just has his head cocked with a real hard countenance, just observing this guy bitch and blather and complain. It's great.
And this is the guy that he like asks him about his addictions, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he throws in his face that, oh, well, you have these problems, and he's like, oh, then I'll never get away from this.
That's
like,
slander. That's slander.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, no, it's not
slander. Fucking sue me, dickhead.
Yeah, we're not worried about slander. We're worried about literally surviving.
Right.
Literally surviving here.
I haven't heard you say, I can't wait to help you because I want to go home.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for you to say that, Raheem. He says it right at the end. I just want to go home. Okay, bro. Great. Then, anyway.
Help me out.
And then I know the Tang interview comes after a few other scenes, but his interview is he gives the tip about, a full cryopod might not be a full cryopod all the time, hinting that maybe somebody isn't quite so sleepy as they made out. So Tang does give an important tip here.
Yeah, it kind of
How does
opens
that-
Morrow's eyes to it.
How does that work too? Wouldn't they be able to just monitor? I don't know.
Well, again,
but-
it's
but
the main engineer.
If Chlamydia had any bones about being a security personnel, he would be distinctly aware of any kind of security breaches. He would be walking from department to department with his clipboard and going, "Hey, why is this test tube in the red? Why is this in the, and maybe he was doing that. In fact, to give him a little bit of credit, he's the one who said, "Hey, the comm logs have been erased. I'm trying to recover them," which of course we know they end up doing because of the Boy Cavalier reveal.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Clem seems to do without consulting anybody else is wake up Morrow.
Yeah, because he knows
Because
he can't do that job.
Yeah,
He
he
knows he's out of
realizes
his
like,
depth.
oh, this is too much for me.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "This is my weekend gig, all right? I'm not prepared for this."
I do wonder about how long each crew member is awake because both Malachite and Clem seem like they're 19 years old. So if they haven't aged at all during this 65-year long mission,
What a great point.
How
Yeah.
long are they actually awake out of the time
That
they
could be
spend in
another
space?
logic bomb.
It doesn't seem to make sense. It's just again another thing that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, if it's a 65-year mission, how many years are they awake for? And how
you
old were they
rotating?
when they started?
Like
Yeah, because
2
there's
weeks at a
not-
time.
I don't know what the rotation is and who's does it change who's awake. I would assume that the engineering department has to have somebody awake at all times.
Of course.
Shmuel is older and he does mention that his wife was 31 when he left, so maybe he spent a significant amount of time awake, but I don't know.
Right.
I wish
That's a
we
good clue.
I wish we got into this more, the more human aspect of like how long they are up here and what they're leaving behind. It would be so much more interesting than them just fumbling around.
Right.
I have a little issue with the time and cryo sleep. They hand wave a lot of the lore already set up. Now remember that Ripley had been asleep for 57 years. That was
Right.
considered an extremely long mission. She
Yes.
was sick for weeks after it, right?
Good
For
point.
being in the extra long. Burke's like, it's just a side effect of extra long cryo sleep. This mission's longer than that, and these people jump up right away and they're fine.
Well, real quick, Burke doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I think Ripley had PTSD, and Burke was just trying to reassure her that she's fine so he can get his goddamn
okay.
samples. Do you see
Okay,
what I'm
'cause
saying?
I know-
I'm sure a consecutive 57 years is rough on your body.
Of
I think
course.
all of this crew, they probably are awake at least
okay, yeah, like here
once
and
a year
there.
or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
But then they'd all be 30 years older than so how old?
that- right.
Exactly. So
Yeah, that
even
doesn't
so,
mean-
take this. Even if you're only awake for 25% of the journey, that's 16 years.
Yeah, that could be possible for some of these
None
people,
of them.
but
Not the
some
younger
of them.
ones, not
Yeah,
the
but the
younger
younger ones, no way. They barely look like they're 16.
And then that begs the question: if you take 16 years off of each one of these people, with the engineer, with Schmel, however you say it, I'm going to keep fucking it up. But if you take Schmel out of the equation, his 16 years, even if Kaveri was 16 years younger, she's an XO at what, 20? Get the fuck out of here!
No way.
Right? So it does. They may have. We may be asking questions a little deeper than they intended people to consider.
Well,
them.
that's my problem with the entire episode is that it just raises questions because I feel like this entire episode is just we couldn't help ourselves. Like we just wanted to do the alien like
But it could have been
reimagining.
awesome.
It could have been awesome, but actually it was, I saw somewhere that it wasn't an intended thing from the beginning. Like this, they added this episode in going into production. So it just has
That
that
tracks.
unfinished feeling of like, oh, what if we did that? But then they didn't have enough time or just chance to fully flesh out all the routes or all the questions that are inevitably going to be asked by people like us who pick things apart. So it just bothers me. I wish that this could have been an enjoyable episode, but the questions bother me too much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because then you start going, okay, 65 years. What are they only awake for a few years? All of them? Maybe they're only awake for 5 years. But
who takes care of the creatures?
Exactly.
How are they just surviving in the?
That's a loophole.
Well, they got auto cat feeders. I can imagine they got some advanced tech in this day, but I don't know. Maybe.
Did you guys
How
forget
is the
to load
cat
up
alive?
the xenomorph
the
cat
should
feeder?
be long dead. Yeah, it's true.
How is the cat? That's the longest living cat of all time,
That's
unless
true.
it sleeps, is in cryo most of the time.
Cats do a lot of sleeping.
Yes.
That's so. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, right. We start to run into some issues when we start to think about it too much. Right. So, also, I feel as if, and this could maybe this is silly. Boy Cavalier does not have a ton of wisdom. We've discussed this, but I do think he's smart, and I do think he is. I would like to imagine that Boy Cavalier is a little more cagey than he lets on. Like, we've made it pretty clear that we don't like Boy Cavalier, the character, but we also say, but he is a well-written and well-acted character. I can't say the same about anyone on the Maginot, right? Not only do I think they're shitty characters, but I think that they don't really behave in a way that makes sense. Boy Cavalier at least behaves in a way that is sensible to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as far as actually like what his intentions are with things.
Right. My point is, Boy Cavalier is a good character. Most of the Maginot crew are not. That's just how I feel. I'm not saying I like Boy Cavalier. I dislike him, but he's still a good character. I don't know if does that track what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I think he's probably pretty smart, and it seems very risky that he would expose himself to this type of sabotage, espionage shit by having him be the one to tell the story. Like a face-to-face evidence seems like really careless.
That's yeah.
It's a little careless out of him to
I
be
wish-
like, I'm exposing myself to the entire Weyland Cheney Corp if this gets recovered.
I wish that it was Adam Ines on the other end of the line being like vaguely promising Petrovich the great reward that he's after, and also at the same time making it sound like this is all on you. Like if you fail, we have no responsibility.
Yeah.
Like it just, but Cavalier being there himself, trusting that this random ass guy is gonna successfully pull off this mission and also destroy the recordings. No, what are you doing?
The only thing I can think of to give defense to this part of the episode would be that Boy Cavalier doesn't give a fuck if Weyland and Cheney knows, because they still don't have any jurisdiction. It's still right. It's like an enemy commander saying, "Oh, you caught me on tape trying to suborn your own ship." Yeah, we're at war, right?
Yeah, and
That's the only thing I can think of, because if there's no legal repercussions from the governments that this show pretends doesn't exist, then maybe that's just it. Maybe it just might makes right, and that's it, right?
there is also something that Morrow said in the first or second episode where he ties up the soldiers and he's like, where's the one called Cavalier? Which, because he would have no
They knew
how to
going in.
know who the fuck Cavalier is, and the guy, the soldier is confused, like, the trillionaire? Why are you, how would I know? And that's because Morrow
Right.
has already seen the name Cavalier on the recordings,
That's
knowing
right.
that he's actually the one responsible for this whole sabotage mission.
But it begs the
So-
question, how does Petrovic know who he is and Morrow doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, I don't think we can get away with that.
Prodigy is a corporation that you guys are briefed on through some kind of news beaming to you when you wake up and they've become like a competitor.
But, well, I don't know if it is like news that are obligatory to be briefed on. It
I
might just
concur.
be like news that they happen to watch, and some of them pay attention and some don't.
Fair enough.
Somebody's sleeping when that specific report came in and is like, it's old news,
fair
I
enough.
don't care too
Fair
much.
enough.
Yeah, so they might not all have the same level of knowledge about what is happening on Earth.
Totally fair. Totally fair. So outside of the interviews and stuff, that's when things just start to go bad. The barfing engineer kid, it's cool. The light behind. Again, production quality, shooting, all still
man.
fantastic. The look of the show is great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. That's why I was I was expecting this episode because I'm like, ooh, we get to go on a ship and it's gonna look similar than the
Exactly.
Nostromo and
And it
have the same
does.
style. That is awesome. The crew sucks.
I like the little homage to like the med bay when they're Yaphet
Sure.
is like, why don't you freeze him? It's the same shot.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same, like it's
Yeah.
angled the same. The people are in the same spots. Like I love like the small little Easter eggs. I think they nail the atmosphere of the ship really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And-
it's also a callback when Malachite and Shmuel are just moments before Malachite starts throwing up blood because there's the light, like the spotlight on
Looks
the wall, and the
awesum.
chain comes down, and isn't that from the moment where they're loading up the coolant tubes for the escape pod
Yes.
when they think that they're still going to get away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I like all that stuff. I like when the gas kills those people. That made me so happy.
Yeah, the tick
That was
bursts.
that was nightmarish.
By the way, the hygiene procedure
Not
here
good.
in the surgery is abysmal. You have his
smoking over an open heart surgery.
you're smoking, and there's also this kid is wearing his nasty, greasy engineer shirt that is
Yeah.
very, very dirty,
That he
and that
barfed
gets
on.
pulled. That gets pulled with the clamps that hold his chest open.
Mm-hmm.
To where the edges of the filthy shirt are going into his
Ugh.
chest cavity.
Yep. They all deserved it.
What are you doing?
No hair nets, no face masks. Let's drink some whiskey while we're gonna cut someone's chest open.
That's the national.
Okay, I am giving this one a lot of shit, but there is a reason why I like it. There is a reason why I like it. It's when the actual xenomorph comes into play here.
Okay, so the very end of the third act here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're there yet, but that's what I really wanted to
But
like.
we might as well talk about the end. I don't think we need to belabor the point this week. I don't think we need to do an hour 45 if there's not a lot of awesome shit to talk about. But the stuff that I really like this week is the gunfight with Petrovic. I was like, whoa! It's cool to see a Saboteur like just open fire on them. They're fighting in the hallway and shit.
Yes, and there's like it felt like there was stakes to it because we get what was the kid's name again?
Clem.
Clem. Yeah, Clem. He gets blasted like right away.
I know. He gets hit twice and then he gets hit in the head at the end.
Oh.
I love when Morrow closes in on Petrovic and knifes him in the back. I didn't need he lifts him up and then he talks to him for 5 minutes, but I did like that he fucking killed him with just zapped him. And then we see in the foreground the little eyeball monster, that little fucker.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. We failed to mention how it escapes by.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's distracting Chibuzo to let the tick escape so that the eyeball gets his chance to get out too.
So is that what we think? Because I was like, is it trying to warn her because it wants her to live so he can take her over?
I don't
Or
know.
was it trying to distract her?
I took it as trying to distract her so that it would get a chance to escape as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
That thing has kind of grown on me.
Me too,
It's
actually.
kind of cute.
As long as it doesn't grow in
it's
you.
not. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
not.
It's freaking me
It's-
out.
It's weirdly cute the way it's observing and running around.
I do like the way it is a really cool alien the way it just makes you a zombie. Like those creepy funguses
Yeah.
that take over like ants and shit.
Yeah, I will say that
weird.
like it's unnerving and like I said last episode we were talking about when the sheep stands up and like it just stares and you can see how that there's like high brain functions. That's terrifying.
It's scary, but I don't like the fact that a xenomorph is actually freaked out over this little thing crawling over it.
Yeah.
That it's stumbling around and falling on the floor and trying to
it wouldn't be a
it's
long fight. It
tiny.
would be a very brief fight.
It was like it's like us if a bee lands on us. That's what I took it as. You're like, oh shit, get
But
it off
it's
me, get it off me.
It's the perfect organism. Why is it freaking out over a bee?
Yeah.
No.
It has a fucking armored exoskeleton. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool shit. Like on the one point, I really like the way Zaveri has to run from the xenomorph, but on the same token, I hate the way it's at point blank range with her and she runs and then it gives chase and she's way ahead of it.
There is
I'm
no
sorry, is she
Yeah,
Quicksilver or
There is-
Flash?
no way she was gonna
No.
get away from it. The moment it pulls her on the floor and she's down, she's dead. She should have been dead there. There was no chance for her to
Right.
escape. We've seen this very same xenomorph just turn people into pulp in seconds.
Yes.
It killed.
Soldiers, entire dinner parties in seconds.
Yes. Yes.
While Morrow is standing there, he turns around. In the time that it takes for him to kind of compose himself and turn around, the room is covered in blood and body parts because the xenomorph
Yes.
has shredded
yeah.
these soldiers into tiny little pieces.
Right.
And now it's just kind of fumbling around and half-assed chasing Zavari in the hallway.
Right. Like, what
it's-
does it do? Go ahead, run. I'll give you a head start.
Let me stretch first. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. Hold on.
The
I don't want
xenomorph's
to pull a
putting on
hammy.
its tennis shoes, doing warm-ups. It's jogging in place. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm trying to limber up here. I'll catch you eventually. It's silly.
Did you guys like how the xenomorph looked? Because I thought it looked great.
Looks cool.
I don't like the look. I in the first episodes I was complaining about how I hate the way the lip looks. It's a little like fabricy. It has this funny, goofy looking upper lip that goes up and down, and it's kind of brown and too like
Racist.
matte looking. Stop!
You heard it
She
here
looks
first,
like a-
everyone. Maja hates the brown aliens.
She don't even care if they're illegal. No. Here's
Holy
what I
shit.
don't like. I don't like that we see. I don't like. Maja's just asking Xenomorphs for their papers. Holy fuck.
Hey,
It's the Xenomorphs. They're not sending their best. What they should do is they should show it a little bit less. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Yes,
I agree.
I will
Just a
agree
little
with
bit like
that.
those when it's out of focus behind Morrow, it's like, oh fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, they show it a bit too
and
much.
keep it in the shadow.
And the way, like, where it's in the hallway and Zaveri, I keep saying Zavari, but it's Zaveri. She's hiding like behind the corner, and the xenomorph is kind of moving like it's a it's a haunted house actor going
it
like,
kinda does.
"Ooh, I'm creepy. I'm waving around and I'm creepy. I'm gonna get you."
I'm gonna get you.
Oh shit!
It's taunting her like Freddy fucking Krueger. Hey Tina, watch this. Woo, chop my own finger off.
It's just
That's funny, bro.
when compared to first Alien and Big Chap and the way it's fucking inhumanely tall, the actor
moves slow,
Balaji
too, at
Badeo,
the end.
like the
It's
way
like-
he's so fucking tall and impossible looking. And there is that one moment where it's just like weirdly kind of slow motion moving, but it looks just lethal and sleek, and there's some kind of crazy, like creepy, scary, elegant thing about it, to where this one is just I can't compare it. This one is just not my favorite.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being smaller, a different species, or a different growth stage.
Yeah, for sure. I like that it's so vicious and so brutal, but make it be vicious and brutal always, not only when it's convenient for the plot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of time where it's like menacing for no reason. But I do like when it shows it chasing her. Like it's the alien view and it's going up around the walls. Like Alien
looks
3
cool.
was really
Yeah,
good
it
at
looks
that.
cool.
I thought it was a good callback to that. That was really well done. And I love when Zaveri gets it finally.
Oh,
When
we
she gets-
saw that in the first ep. She gets brutal.
Yeah, now it was
Yeah,
way
it's
more
just-
satisfying though because I couldn't wait for her to die.
Yes, because now you know they're like, oh, she's just a shitty officer. You're like, all right, cool. You just watch her getting just ripped apart by this thing, and that's the ferocity that I love about it. You know, like in the first Alien, you don't see a ton of that. You see just it reaches out and then Tom Skerritt's gone, but this one's a little more ferocious and it's really interesting to look at. You know, I definitely see where you say some of the lighting on it makes it seem like there's a person in the suit because there's so much light on it. When it's
I
in
don't
the
mind
shadow,
that it looks like that though.
Yeah, I don't. I
yes.
love that they did that. That it is
Yes.
practical, but maybe
maybe just keeping the shadow a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, they show it a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that it's a suit. I'm happy.
I-
'cause-
Yeah,
Me
me
too.
too. Me too.
I like the fact that our engineer boy has the thing in his eye. That moment where Morrow the xenomorph follows him into the room and he's there with a thing in his eyeball and he just turns and makes that crazy fucking noise.
The noise. Oh
That
my
was
god.
that reminded me of the thing. That was really
Yeah,
cool. That's one
was
of my
cool.
favorite parts of the ep. But when he jumps on it and he engages it in hand to hand with his
I've never seen a human bite a xenomorph before.
Yeah. So again, this thing turned it into human blender. It was chopping people into tiny pieces, but it's now confused about this 65-year-old Scottish guy who's trying to bite it in the neck. What?
Who just knows kung fu like fucking Neo in the Matrix? Just do and he
Do you
jumps
remember
over.
when Charles S. Dutton engaged one of these in hand to hand? Dylan
Wait.
in Alien 3?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just ripped him to fucking shreds.
Yep.
So I don't mind that this thing pilots the human to attack. I'm fine with that, especially if it knows it's going to attack you anyway. But when it jumps on the xenomorph's back, it takes, let's count them in seconds. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He bites him at like the 7 or 8 second, 10 seconds into the fight, 11, 12, 13, 15 seconds into the fight. He finally slams him against the wall, 17 seconds for him to start filling him full of holes with his tail.
Yeah, in 17 seconds, he could have obliterated like 5 dinner parties.
Right.
So
Yeah, for real.
I think this is just one of those things where Hulu's like, let's show a cool fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
if
I
you
can
want it
see
to be
that.
a cool fight, the second it jumps on him, it lands on its tail and it gets torn to pieces. That would be fucking awesome. And we see that little thing after the xenomorph leaves the room, crawl out of his eye and leave. Instead of trying to make it like a fucking Rocky movie. Like,
Yeah.
get him. Like, please.
that little tentacle eyeball thing is stronger than a xenomorph, and the xenomorph is freaking out because it's on him.
Yeah.
that bothers me.
It just it bothers me as well because that part I don't see the need for this eyeball monster. I don't understand why it's in the show. Besides to make me uncomfortable. I mean, it's doing that part perfectly.
It's
but-
cool to see other shit, but
Yeah, I like, but don't make it like now. The show is called Alien. Why is the xenomorph either pathetic or crazy,
It's-
capable?
it's a funny inconsistency. Yeah,
it's
like
such-
it's running for the pool because it's got bees on it.
Yeah,
I just get a mental picture. That's great.
If it just reached up and smashed its own face, it would turn the thing into pulp. But whatever.
it is. I think it is trying to crawl into the xenomorph's eyes and be like, oh fuck, there's no eyes on this thing.
I got
Where
no
do I
eyes,
get in?
bro. Haha.
Do we see that the xenomorph gets rid of it? I don't think it does. It just gets it off.
No. Yeah. It's just
We know because of the landing.
because it's still around. It just
it's in
gets
a cat
thrown into the wall
eventually.
with the cops. Right. It goes into the cat.
The
Yeah.
oldest cat ever. Yeah, he gets it off, and we know that because the thing's trying to claw away at. But no, the end of the episode is awesome when Morrow's crying, thinking of his daughter, wiping the alien resin off his face, in concert with the tear flashback, and just getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing the now like updated perspective of this scene where he's going into the pod and what he's thinking about in this moment, because we saw that already in the first episode, but we had no idea what he is thinking about. Like, is he just a robotic stone cold killer who doesn't get bothered by this monster hunting him and his crew? But
Yep.
no, he's zoning out, thinking about his daughter who is long gone and saving himself.
Yeah. And we learn that in Morrow we see present day Morrow with Yutani.
Yeah.
And she's like, my grandmother was a big fan. I'm like, holy shit. Can you real quick, can you give me a better crew next time if she likes me so much? Like, I'm looking around here and these are some nice digs, man. You got a nice pad. Maybe just throwing it
Give me
out
that.
there. I appreciate my job and what you guys done for me, what y'all done for me. It's been great, man. It's been a good relationship, but for real, next time you send me up in some shit, I want a competent crew.
Give
Spend
me
a
one of these
trillion
red
if you have
guys.
to.
You know?
Yeah, look,
Give me one of
give
these
me
red
that.
guys.
Yeah, I'll take that red guy. I'll take that
Yeah.
guy in the
He
red.
seems like he can kick some ass. I'll take him on my
I'll take
crew
that
next time.
guy with a Texas Longhorn head. He can come. Clem can stay behind. That would be awesome.
And they remind me of the Emperor's guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't fucking around, man. They got some hardware on them.
Got some MC Hammer pants and some like lasers and shit.
Uh-oh. Too legit to quit.
What is cool about this meeting, though, is that it isn't said directly, but it's hinted at that basically Yutani, this current Yutani, has grown up hearing stories about this guy who is up in space
Awesome.
from her grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
This cool guy that her grandmother really liked, who is now up in space on this crazy mission, and now he's finally back, and now she finally gets to meet this person. It's awesome.
So one thing I have a question about is, so did Morrow go off-world? Because there's no Weyland Yutani headquarters where Cavalier is.
No, it's just Weyland Yutani, I think, controls the Americas.
So yeah.
Prodigy is in Southeast Asia somewhere.
Right. So my
Yeah.
point. So my, Weyland Yutani is a British/Japanese company. I know that's the formulation of it because of Weyland himself,
Yeah.
and then the Yutani part. Anyway, so he must have left the continent or something. He went
Yeah,
somewhere.
for sure. I think he's been traveling around. I think he went to India to
Right.
find
Oh
Arushi's
yeah,
family.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure he's getting very nice flights very quickly arranged
I'm
by
sure.
Yutani.
Yeah. There's a fucking flying thing on the pad up there, some kind of spaceship.
Yeah.
So
What I like
think
is
he
that
can,
she says to her like subordinate, like, give him everything he needs. Like
Awesome.
she believes in him so much because her grandmother talked so highly about him. Like, okay, he'll get the job done. This is the guy that will get the job done. Give him whatever he needs. And I
Hell
love that
yeah.
because that means, you got Yutani, endless pockets pretty much.
empty. Yeah, sure.
What's going to happen in the next couple episodes? I would hope something grand, something big.
So, despite the misgivings this week, I still want to watch the show. I
Yes.
still like Morrow. I still want to see what's going on. This is not an indictment on the entire show.
No,
I'm still excited to see where it goes.
I feel like this.
It made Morrow more sympathetic. It made Morrow even more interesting to see the nonsense he had to put up with.
Yeah, it's true.
Think of this guy's mission. He loses his daughter. He's on this mission. He gets woken up by a bunch of incompetent idiots. He survives, thank God. The rest of them perish. He lands on this place. He's in literal enemy territory. He manages to bag the Xeno, but then he has to escape. The Xeno escapes. He has to get away. Next thing you know, he's trying to figure out a way in. How am I going to get these samples? These people really look up to me. We have a loyalty. This relationship between Yutani and Morrow is really interesting. And now we see all the shit he went through. And now we're like, oh, cool. I kind of want, I mean,
I'm excited
last week I was ready to have a break from Neverland, and now I'm looking forward to going back there to see what happens here, and especially to see what happens with Morrow. I do appreciate the episode from the Morrow perspective, and like really getting to know him more. He's such a great character. Other than that, I still feel that it was a little unnecessary.
yeah, it's just if it was better, I wouldn't be complaining about its necessity. So
Yeah.
it's just, but yeah. Sorry, Scott. Hopefully we didn't.
No, it's okay. No, because like I like sitting down with you guys, and I like when we have different opinions because it makes me think differently and get out of my own my own biases or what have you. And like there are some bad parts in this, and I didn't see initially. I saw some acting that was bad, and this some people that had bad character traits. But like when you guys bring it to the forefront like this, it's good for me because it makes me go, okay, I see the other sides of this. But I still love the certain parts of this episode for sure. I'm really into it, and I'm excited to see what goes on. I'm high on this because again, like I've been waiting my whole life for more than just movies. I wanted an expanded universe of kind of more alien stuff, and we're finally getting it. While it's not perfect, I'm excited. I'm sitting down to watch it every Tuesday. So,
me too.
Oh yeah,
right on. Anything else before we get out of here?
Can't wait for next week.
Yeah, well, again, still looking forward to it. Sorry if I got a little cantankerous in there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in a week. See you later.